welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. So today we're going to talk about the seducer type, the coquette. And there are people that think that being intentionally seductive in the world is not a good thing, and especially this type of seducer. So before we get into everything, I want to explain why you may feel like this seducer type is not good. We've all heard about the pickup community talking about the hot and cold method, and we've all met people that practice that, being really hot and then being cold, and it's frustrating. And honestly, a lot of people that I've met that do that are just annoying. But the coquette is the hot and cold thing. The coquette is just basically an unattainable person. But let me read to you exactly what a coquette is. Coquettes are self-sufficient with a fascinating cool at their core. Coquettes seem totally self-sufficient. They do not need you, they seem to say, and their narcissism proves devilishly attractive. People are inherently perverse. An easy conquest has a lower value than a difficult one. We are only really excited by what is denied us, by what we cannot possess in full. Your greatest power in seduction is your ability to turn away. Confidence and self-sufficiency attracts. The less you seem to need other people, the more likely others will be drawn to you. Yes, okay, so let's just get into it one step at a time. Coquettes are self-sufficient with a fascinating cool at their core. Coquettes are extremely fascinated by themselves and their own lives. So they are cool and detached because they are fascinated in themselves. Coquettes seem totally self-sufficient. They do not need you, they seem to say. And their narcissism proves devilishly attractive. So Carr, my husband, one of his seducer styles is he's a coquette. He has never needed me. He was completely happy before I came into his life, and he continues to be completely happy. Now, I mean, obviously if I left him, he would not be completely happy, but I have to work to get his attention. And on the day-to-day life that we live, he is so into his whole thing and what he's doing that I have to fight to get his attention. So that works for me because he's so self-sufficient. He doesn't seem to need me for, for living a happy life. And it's extremely attractive. I mean, what he does as well is he revolves his life around me. Like which seems like the two opposite things, but he loves to provide a nice life for me, to take good care of me and do all these things for me. But then I always feel like I can't quite grasp him. I can't quite own him. So it still makes me feel like at all times I feel well taken care of, and I feel so special and flattered by him. But his attention is extremely desirable to me because he doesn't need me. So it's like I don't have any control of whether he likes me or not. So that's another thing I think that coquettes do really well. If a coquette likes you, it's because they like you, because you were impactful enough to get their attention and get themselves out of their own little world. So it's very flattering. It's always so flattering when coquettes are into you. So the next one, people are inherently perverse. An easy conquest has a lower value than a difficult one. We are only really excited by what is denied us. I have an example of this in my everyday life. Occasionally Audible comes out with like free books that you can have, and I listen to Audible all the time. And if a book is free, I'm less likely to enjoy listening to that book. Not always. Sometimes I still love the book that I'm listening to, but a lot of times there is a significant difference in how much I enjoy a book if it was free versus me having to pay for it. It's so crazy. That drives me crazy about me, but it's true. So I mean, that's why an easy conquest has a lower value than a difficult one. If you really have to work for something, then it means a lot more than if you were just given it. Your greatest power in seduction is your ability to turn away, to make the others come after you, delaying their satisfaction. I mean, just that goes along with an easy conquest is not as highly valued as a more difficult one. To understand the particular power of the coquette, you must first understand the critical property of love and desire. The more obviously you pursue a person, the more likely you are to chase them away. I mean, okay, so let me clarify that as well. That does not mean you can't come on really strong. In a lot of my relationships, I don't know if you've been around me or seen enough of me to know that my skill lies in people. I am very good at interacting with people. I'm good at people want to work with me, and I come on strong. If I see you and I like you, I will let you know. So it's not like you can't pursue somebody, but people can always see that my life will continue as normal. It won't bother me one way or another. Like, I would be overjoyed to interact with you, and I will pursue you to make it happen. But if it doesn't happen, I will barely notice. It's never a tragedy in my life. So there's that to consider. It doesn't mean that you can't show appreciation and joy in someone. Self-esteem is critical in seduction. Your attitude towards yourself is read by the other person in subtle and unconscious ways. Low self-esteem repels. Confidence and self-sufficiency attracts. The less you seem to need other people, the more likely they will be to be drawn to you. Yes. Self-esteem is critical in seduction. And this is actually why I always say that building up your own self-respect and your own self-esteem is so important. And I think that's why having little things that you do and moving toward goals and anything you can do to gain your own self-respect is so important, because the more self-respect you have, the more people want to be in your life, and the harder you'll work toward your goals, the more confidence you'll have. Just taking small steps to improve. Well, that's what I do. I just take small steps to improve my life, even if I fail, which I do all the time, but I can look at myself in the mirror and be confident with who I am. So yeah, if you are a coquette, I really appreciate the coquettes in the world. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. My name is Luann. Please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button.